You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and listeners, I have got a Linda update for you. Yes, that's exciting, right? Well, of course, unless you're a new listener, in which case, hello new listener, and I hope you have prepared your ears accordingly for tuning into this podcast. Have you washed behind them? Around them? Inside them, so that your brain gets filled with soap, and when you burp, bubbles come out? Actually, don't do that, because then all you'll be able to hear for days and days and days is not this podcast, but instead this sound. And of course, you'll be constantly thinking you're underwater or you've magically transformed into a fizzy drink, like that popular fizzy drink. What's it called? Fizzy hot chocolate. That's it. Or fizzy gravy. Who doesn't love a cup of fizzy gravy? Anyway, if you are a new listener, then you're very welcome. And what you do need to know is that Linda, my longtime assistant on this show, has still to this day never turned up once. And frankly, everyone's getting pretty restless trying to work out where she is. Oh, sorry, your name isn't Frankly. Oh, apologies. Well, here's the news update for everyone anyway. I received this amazing letter in the mailbag this week. And it's an official one too. So let me read this out in an official voice. Hey Linda, I have recently discovered your podcast on Apple Podcasts. Great stuff. Have you thought about adjusting your Instagram strategy with some of the new tools being developed? I have some ideas that would make followers boost easier without ads or extra influencers, and it won't take up any of your time. If you've got 40 seconds, I'd love to share a quick video that explains it. Cheers, Emily Williams Executive, Partnerships at Gatesweb. Whoa, her name is Emily Williams Executive. Imagine having executive as part of your name. No one would mess with you then. Hi, I'm Tiernan Executive. Give me that horse. Thank you. And now give me that sandwich. I'm going to eat it while riding on a horse, because I'm an executive. That'd be amazing. I don't really understand the rest of the message, I'll be honest, but I know that it's addressed to Linda. It says, hey Linda. So has Linda actually been running this podcast from behind the scenes all along? Does she have a Instagram strategy? How do my followers boost? Do they wear rocket shoes or a jetpack? Maybe like in Mario Kart, they just collect a mushroom. Hang on, who's been following me? That's kind of creepy. I need to find all of this out, but to do that, I apparently need 40 seconds. So I guess I have to eat 40 meals first, and then I can have a second helping straight after, and that should give me the 40 seconds to give to this Emily Executive in her Gatesweb, whatever that is. Well, before I start cooking all of the dinners, let me just let you all know that if you have got information about Linda, or you want to send in anything else at all, then please do get your nearest pea-brain tutor, grown-up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And this is very important, listeners, new listeners, old listeners, listeners that are middle-aged. I have still not had enough actually eligible entries for our competition to win a copy of Mike Rampton's brilliantly excellent, funny fact book, Become a Genius in a Year. So if you are in the UK or Ireland and you want to win a copy, just send me an email with the words competition in it, and I will consider the first few that arrive as winning entries, and I'll announce them all next week. Please also ask your grown-ups to subscribe you to the advert-free Linda edition, as that helps support this podcast happening, and do also check out comedyclub4kids.co.uk to see where all our live shows are near you, and thanks to everyone who said hello after the recent shows at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre and in Canary Wharf that I was at. It was excellent hearing so much information about Be Sick. Thank you for that. Okay, I have to get started on these 40 dinners so then I can get 40 seconds and then give them to Emily Executive. So while I do that, you listen to this most importantest bit. Yes, he is back once again to Radio Nonsense. It is the world's premier designer of pasta-based clothes. That's right, once again we've got Runi Talwar. Oh, Runi, it's so lovely to have you back on the show once again. How are things?
Thank you, and I would prefer if you use my full nickname, Rigatoni Runi.
Yes.
I've worked really hard to earn that. I'm so, and this is lovely. I'm so glad to be here. And it's so lovely to see you, Tiernan. And how's that macaroni suit I made you?
Oh, it is. Is it? I believe it was called a mac. Or was it a macaroni? Is that how you said it? Or the?
That's right. It was a macaroni.
Yes.
So it's an MACKH, 3 dots, and then aroni.
Yes, I love it. It fits me perfectly until it rains, and then it sort of sticks to me a bit.
We're still, well, you know what?
Yes.
We're working on the rain issue. It's a few of my clients have mentioned the rain thing, look, research and development is ongoing. Yes. We're always thinking of the latest cutting edge and pasta-based clothes technologies. Food. Oh, I almost said food. Can you imagine eating pasta?
It's ridiculous. Who eats pasta?
Anyway, I'm glad. Anyway, there should be some sauce in the mail for you for next month.
Fantastic.
That's just a little gift for me.
Oh, that's really kind. And am I right? I just fill up the pockets with sauce. That's what I meant to do. Is that?
That's right.
Yes.
It's pocket sauce. It's pocket sauce. It's the way down the pasta, because along with the rain issue, we've also had several people complain about wind issues.
Yes, yes, I did find that. Yes,
that's also from eating the pasta. Again, you don't have to eat the pasta.
Sure.
It's really more.
I mean, it's one of those things, because I found that it was a perfect fit, but I found when the weather was hot, it's bits of it sort of cracked and fell off. When the weather was rainy, it just sort of stuck to me. When the weather was windy, it blew. I mean, I did wonder what type of weather you've designed this Mac for.
Yeah, no, and it's something we think about every day. Yeah. You know, something we ask ourselves.
Yeah.
It's something and listen, like who can answer any question in life? You know, who knows the answers to anything? So in many ways, it almost doesn't matter. You know, it almost doesn't matter that there is no ideal weather for pasta-based clothing, or the fact that, like, financially, it's actually way more expensive to harvest and use pasta than any sort of fabric at all. But we don't do things because they make sense.
No,
we do things because often they don't make sense.
Well, I think
there's one lesson the kids take away from this.
It's a very valuable and important lesson. And I also think that, a lot of our listeners, obviously we've got listeners of all sorts of ages, 400 years old, 3 years old, whatever. But a lot of the younger ones, they'll be in school and they might think that idiots that pasta is food-based, stupid. But then they'll go to art class and the teacher will go, let's make a collage, and they'll have to stick loads of bits of pasta to a picture, right?
So, like, what are we teaching our kids?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, food, art, clothing. I mean, to be honest, it upsets me as a pastarian, as someone whose family, spent centuries really working with pasta.
Yes.
And all we can do is, petition the education system to be, reform, to really teach kids about the real benefits of pasta, which is, through like what kind of like jackets you can make, maybe some socks of some kind.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a versatile tool, isn't it? I mean, you can use spaghetti, you can use a ravioli, you can use gnocchi. Can you imagine?
Wow. I found out recently, and I was going to say, I don't know if you know this, but I know you know this because you are, of course, a pasta expert. I didn't realize that couscous is a pasta.
Listen, there was a big debate in the community for a long time. There was a lot of back and forth, and I'll be honest, it got violent at times as well.
Wow.
So we pay our respect to those who have gone, but in the end, we did decide as a community to let couscous in.
Wow.
Mainly so we could take them from rice, because rice started lobbying for them, and we can't lose more to rice. Those, sorry, I almost said a rude word. Those I promised myself I wouldn't say a rude word. There's one in particular which I really struggle with.
Yes. Well, I will come to that. And I listen. I respect your restraint there, but obviously it's very hard to talk about rice without saying a rude word. And I think most people out there know that even thinking about rice makes you want to say rude words. It's generally. Rice is outrageous, and it's taken a lot. It seems to jump in all sorts of places.
It has, and you know what? It seems to get away with it. It seems to get away with it, and like, where is society going, Tiernan? Where is society going?
I don't know. It's very. I mean, you even list obviously food for rice, but then there's people throw it at weddings. People have it as a pudding. Like honestly, where does it stop?
I mean, I tried for years to get people to throw dried pasta at weddings,
Yes.
and they just wouldn't. They wouldn't. They would always tell me, "Please leave the premises," and I was like, "Well, if I leave the premises, how is anyone going to get a hold of this pasta to throw at the bride?" And I tried with sauce, without sauce, cooked, uncooked. It just almost seems like the rice lobby got to them first. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
I mean, I'm just saying this, you know, from my personal opinion. I don't want to jump in and pretend the listeners agree with me, but I believe you're having a lovely, beautiful wedding. What would make it more beautiful than whole strands of dried spaghetti thrown at the bride's face?
I think, look, I see nothing wrong with that.
Me either.
I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what you never see? Doves pecking at whole strands of dried spaghetti. You never see it.
No.
But if you throw rice on them, all of a sudden you're flocked by doves. You've got birds picking at you, or your makeup's gone, or your clothes, your beautiful wedding dress has been ripped.
Yes.
It's just the obvious option, Tiernan. Sorry, I'm getting quite passionate.
No, I listen. It's why, you know, it's one of the reasons I got you on the show, because I know you care and I know you're an expert in your field, and I think that it's one of the things that people do not talk about often enough is how much pasta saves you from random bird attacks at your wedding. And I think that's one of the things that should be on every tin of pasta, every bag of pasta.
I think that should be if that isn't the cornerstone of like Labour's policy.
Yes.
You know, if that isn't the cornerstone of the way they want to run this country, then I just feel like, you know, what are we doing?
Yes. The UN, the whole world really needs some sort of pasta resolution, and it's I don't know why it's not being talked about. You know.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're on the same page here.
100% on the same page. Which, you know, as it turns out, is a sheet of lasagna. I think this page.
Exactly. You got my book.
Yes, I've got your book. Glad. I love.
You're the one who bought it.
I was the one guy that bought it. Yes.
So, I always wondered who that was. Oh, that's so lovely, Tiernan. Thank you.
Really enjoyed reading it, except when it's raining. But yes, when it's not raining,
we're still trying to figure that issue out as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, but listen, I mean, it's lovely that things are going so well for you. I'm very pleased for you, and it's so nice to have you back. Have you? I mean. How are you finding time to kind of get on with anything else in between your I guess pasta is your life?
Look, pasta is my life, but I'm actually trying to have more balance in life, you know? Like I've been branching out a bit actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I recently discovered look, this might be controversial.
Okay, no, go for it. That's what this podcast is about.
But I'm going to say it. Yeah. I'm going to say it. I recently discovered noodles. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. This is something coming out of Asia. It's cutting edge. It's absolutely cutting edge. Quite soft actually, but still cutting edge. And they're called noodles. They actually come in a lot of different varieties. You'd think when you see one, oh, it's a bowl of spaghetti.
Yes.
And trust me, as a spaghetti expert, even I was fooled. But when I had these, I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's noodles. It might be noodles.
Okay, noodles.
It might be noodles, actually. Sorry. This is my uncultured way of saying it. Noodles. So when I had noodles for the first time, it was eye-opening.
Wow.
It was amazing. It taught me. Oh my God! The first thing that went through my head was, this is the weirdest spaghetti I've had in my life.
Sure.
Then I realized, hang on, this isn't spaghetti at all. Yet it's like spaghetti. Yet it's not spaghetti. All I knew in that moment was it's definitely not rice, and I was sort of on board from that point.
Wow. And I just need to, you know, I mean, I am absolutely fascinated by this, so I need to check. It's not spaghetti, but it wasn't worms, was it? It wasn't earthworms, because I know people have made that mistake before.
No, I would say about 90% of it wasn't earthworms. Okay. I would say it was a whole new thing.
Oh, that's good.
There were worms there because I'd ordered worm noodles.
Sure, right, okay, got it. Okay, sure.
I assumed it was like the worm pasta I'd make. So
sure.
And in many ways it was, in many ways it wasn't.
Right. That's fascinating. And it wasn't hair.
Like what? Like a bunny? Like a rabbit?
No. Like it as in a person's hair, like long strands of hair.
No, 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 no. It
No,
was
something
definitely not
else.
long hair. No, I
Wow.
definitely checked. I
Yeah.
definitely checked. No, they said that they'd finished their haircuts for the day, so it was like
Wow.
it was one of those, those places I do haircuts in the morning,
Yes, yes. That's why you
dinner at
have to
night.
check. Yeah, yeah.
That's why you have to check exactly because no one wants hair in their food.
No, 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 no.
And they said no, no. They said they'd wash the sink off all the hair before they made the noodles in it. So no,
Wow.
I mean, it didn't taste hairy to me.
Well, and you would know because obviously you did do that. You pioneered that brilliant. Was it Harry Fuseli? Was that what it was called?
Harry Pasteri. It
Harry
was Harry
Pasteri. That's
Pasteri.
it. Yes, and so you
Yeah,
know.
that's right. That was actually one of my first proper innovations because see, I'd always have you heard of something called angel hair pasta?
Yes, yes, I have. Yes, yes.
So my only problem with angel hair pasta is and I say this as a pasta person, too much pasta, not enough hair.
Yes,
So
yes.
what I decided was to find a more balanced approach. So to create a pasta that is 50% hair, 50% pasta.
Wow.
I call it Hairy Pasteri. And to date, it's the highest selling custom made pasta out of West London.
Wow. Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, it's very
Yeah.
impressive. It's very, and I'm so pleased you did that because I always found Angel's hair very disappointing that it was not really hair. I was
It wasn't hair.
came from an angel. I just
Didn't feel very angelic.
no. I thought it'd be glowing. I thought it'd have a little halo over it. None of that. Very
No, no.
no.
Or at the very least, I thought like if I had angels hair, then I would become an angel. Then I would grow wings.
Yes.
Maybe my hair
Yes.
would become nice and angelic. Nothing.
Nothing
Nothing.
at all. Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Outrageous.
Didn't even hold sauce very well.
There's all these sort of lies that we're presented with, and we're just supposed to get on with our lives when,
It's I'm telling you, and I'm sorry for saying, you could accuse me of being a conspiracy theorist. It's Big Rice, all right? Big Rice.
You're right, it's Big Rice.
Doing all of this. It's all misinformation from Big Rice, or Long Rice, as they sometimes like to be called.
Yeah, Big Rice. I can't
We call
stand
them Big Rice.
And risotto sounding like a pasta, but it's not a pasta. Yeah, it's...
Don't even get me started on the whole risotto thing. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of the risotto incident of 1967, when they first introduced risotto to the pasta community, without telling us there was actually rice the whole time. Oof. It was one of the biggest scandals. I think they've made movies about it actually, where it was an undercover gang of rice, and they inserted themselves into a local Italian restaurant, masqueraded as a special type of pasta, as a very, very, very short pasta.
That's heinous. That's really heinous.
It was. It was one of the darkest chapters in human history, I think, personally.
I agree. I'm outraged by it. I'm outraged and upset. And next time I see a bowl of risotto anywhere, I will pick it up and I'll throw it at the nearest passing squirrel. That's what I'll do.
I think that's not only the right thing to do, it's what you must do.
It's what I must do.
It's what we all must do.
We all must do it. Absolutely.
Again, if there's one lesson the kids can take from this podcast, it's throw a bowl of risotto at a nearby squirrel.
Yes, it's an important life lesson, and I hope they're listening. Thank. Well, listen, really, as I said before, it's great to have you back. It's great to have your wisdom, and I know that there's a question that I need you in particular to answer that we've had sent in. Before that, you alluded to it earlier. I've got two admin questions. I do need to legally. It's legal that I have to ask you these questions. Otherwise, we'll just get shut down. That's how it works.
Of course.
And the first of these, I said, you mentioned earlier, is really key because this show is listened to by people of all possible ages, medieval age, Bronze Ages, Ice Ages, Jurassic Age, all the way up to sort of 302, not 100, long story, they're not allowed to listen. But everyone else of every other age, they tune in. And so I just need to make sure there are any, if there are any rude words that you won't be saying to keep this show safe.
Yes, so there's one in particular, and look, I don't say this word lightly, and I'll only say it once just to make sure that it's never said again. It's rice-tastic, and and the reason I won't ever use that word again, and I think it speaks for itself, is I refuse to kowtow to Big Rice and their marketing machinery that rules this world. Really, it rules so many different cultures, so many different regions, so many different people from walks of life, and I won't contribute to it. So I won't mention the word rice-tastic. Again, sorry, after that one. I won't mention it again, even though there are many things that we talk about that I could describe as
rice-tastic.
Oh,
yes.
I almost said it again. Yes. No, I stopped myself.
I appreciate. I have to say, when you first said rice-tastic, I thought I was going to be sick down my own top because it is a really horrible word.
It isn't. It is. Really and the horrible. Thing is, I can even say rice. I can say tastic. I say tastic all the time. But something about just combining those two, I just get goosebumps. You know, I get shivers.
Listen, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. How do you feel about mice-tastic, which is?
Oh, I love mice. Oh, are you kidding me? Mice are great.
Yeah.
We have mice everywhere in our pasta factory.
Right.
We take care of them. They're great. They're great testers for the pasta.
Yeah.
We have a theory that if a mice can get through an inch of pasta in 1 minute, then we almost never use it for our clothes. You know,
wow.
Yeah, we try really avoid those pastas. So no, I would describe our entire operation as mice-tastic.
Great, that's lovely. That's nice to know. Well, in which case, mice-tastic obviously allowed, but you won't be saying rice-tastic. I suppose if it comes to it, lice-tastic may be necessary if we go back to the hair conversation.
Yeah, no, we're okay with it. No, lice-tastic is good. I would say, given the fact that our factory is mice-tastic, it's probably also lice-tastic.
Sure, yeah.
You know, just again how these things work out. But look, as long as we're not saying, look, I call it the R word. As long as we're not saying the R word, I think we're okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's fantastic. That's fantastic, which I can say that's fantastic.
Yeah, we love Fanta. Yes. We have Fanta all the time. We've got fridges of it. You know, it's just orange Fanta, pineapple Fanta. Oh, so much.
Yes. So it's mice-tastic, lice-tastic, and indeed fantastic that you will not say the R word, and I appreciate that. I will not dare say rice-tastic myself on this show.
Thank you.
And hopefully no one else will either. So
thank you. And also, if you could do me a favor and never eat rice again. Thanks.
That's fine. No. I'm already thinking about walking down my street, finding everyone in the area who eats rice and taking their rice and then throwing it out passing folks.
That would be a big help.
Yeah.
That would be a big help. That'd be a big help.
I will do that.
Absolutely.
Don't worry. I'm absolutely part of this campaign. Listen, I've got one other question I do have to ask you. I know that one was important. This one's tricky, but it's necessary. Runi, would you rather always be covered in small spikes like a cactus, or always covered in a crunchy coating like tempura or insects?
Oh. Actually, that's quite an easy one. I would definitely the second. I'd definitely rather be covered in crispy skin like a tempura, which incidentally goes very well with noodles.
Yes,
I've discovered recently.
Wow.
I definitely wouldn't want little spikes on my body, and I think you know why. I think you know what those little spikes would remind me of.
Oh my!
Putting little spikes all over my body. I don't think you know.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't. Do you know? I didn't even think of that as a. Are you suggesting that cactuses, cactuaries? I don't know what the correct term is when there's more than one, but cactusizes. Are you suggesting that they are part of big rice?
I think you've just blown my mind, Tiernan. I think that makes so much sense. That explains so much. I mean, they're covered in the things. I always thought they were thorns, but I've never touched it.
Yeah. No,
what if it's just really pointy rice?
Could be.
That also explains why my factory was recently attacked by a group of cactuses. This actually, I think this is starting to. This is
also why I think cactus. They don't take much water, and I presume that's because if they have a lot of water, all their spikes go soft like rice does.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This explains so much. So that means the entire desert is covered in. Oh my god! Big rice has got to the deserts. Big rice has got to the deserts.
This is very.
Wait, is there anything Big Rice hasn't touched? Hasn't corrupted with its touch?
Pasta. I think probably pasta.
We're the last bastion, Tiernan. We're the last bastion fighting, holding on against Big Rice. I urge every listener to go out today, get all the rice in their house, and throw it away.
Yes.
Throw it on a stranger. Throw it on a pet.
Yes.
Throw it if there's a local wedding nearby, just go and throw it.
Oh,
Get rid
clever.
of it.
Very clever, because that would seem generous, but it's actually not. That's very clever.
Exactly, exactly. And you're not charged for littering. I learned that the
Very,
hard way.
very smart. Very smart. I mean, I do have to the crispy coating like tempura. Obviously, that would. I mean, would that be okay at all?
I mean, that'd be okay. That'd be okay. I guess. Is it like a regenerating crispy?
I don't
So like,
know.
because you know how your skin regenerates. You lose skin cells. You get grow them again. Is it like that? Because if it is, then that's great. I'll just snack on it.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, it doesn't. I don't have any details other than that it's a crunchy coating.
Okay.
I mean, my worry is other creatures. People might think that you look very tasty. Because I mean, I would eat most things.
That would be a change for me.
Yeah. Right.
That's because normally it's all hair and pasta, and a lot of people really don't actually like hair in their food. Funnily enough, I think would I still be wearing clothes?
That's a good point, because it'd be tricky to get clothes on over a crunchy coating, wouldn't it?
Yeah, unless it's like a sarong of some kind.
Yeah, unless the crunchy coating is over your clothes, like you get dressed and then you put the crunchy coating on. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, is this something I can put on?
Maybe. It's tricky, isn't it? Yeah, I assume maybe it's like your skin, so you'd have to put clothes on over it.
Yeah,
It'd be very hard.
And how thick a crunch are we talking? Are we talking say double fried? Is this like a KFC batter type? Is it more like a thin batter? I think you mentioned tempura. That's quite a thin coating, isn't it?
Yes, I mean that's what we've got as the description here. It is thin like tempura, but you're right. I mean, I suppose there'd be nothing stopping you. I suppose once you had your crunchy coating to add another layer and then go double fried, and
maybe double fried.
You could build up quite the armor. You could be quite powerful.
Yeah, maybe double fry if I'm like going for a hike or something.
Yes,
and then like leave it at single fry if I'm just spending my day indoors.
Yeah, I've seen chips, or for listeners around the world, fries. Oh yeah, because they get fried. That makes sense. Chips that are triple fried, or fries that are triple fried.
You chip them from the potato first, and then you fry them.
Yes. That's why it makes sense to me. But chips that are triple fried, or fries that are triple fried, and they are triple fried. And you imagine you could, if you were to be triple fried, I reckon you could just storm into anywhere that Big Rice is running and take it down, because you'd be basically invincible.
I think so. I think I'd be invincible and also irresistible.
Yes.
So people would either, they'd try and fight me and then lose because I'm triple fried, or they'd find me so delicious that they'd, let me go.
Yes,
I'll break off a chunk.
I mean, you might find off that you are being scooped up and dipped into a sauce.
Depends on the sauce, really, doesn't it? I mean, like a nice garlic mayo. That'd be nice.
I'm a fan. Yeah.
I mean, something with truffle. That'd be lovely.
Oh yes, very good. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the more we've gone into this, actually, that I can't see any downsides to this.
I actually can't either. I'm gonna look into this to see.
You're gonna see if you can.
What's the latest with like skin transplants and stuff? What's happening? Science is always evolving, Tiernan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have my pasta clothing business today if science wasn't evolving.
That's very true, and you're right. I do. You hear of people having different sort of cosmetic, and they never just go, actually, I'd like my whole arm to be like a crispy tempura, and that would be way more exciting, I think.
I think so too, and you know what? I bet the surgeons are waiting for something creative like this. I mean, how boring must it always be? Oh, fix my nose. Oh, get rid of these horrific scars. Oh, all right. How about tempura arm?
Tempura arm. And while you're at it, I want a knee made of peanut butter and another knee made of what else be good? Probably just
maybe an elbow made of soy sauce, and then I can dip the tempura arm in the soy sauce elbow.
Wow. Now that's inventive. I like that.
People think I'm just crossing my arms, and I'm actually doing some serious dipping.
That's great. I'm all for serious dipping. There's not enough in life as far as I'm concerned. It should be a competitive. I want to see at the Olympics serious dipping. That's what I want. I want a serious dipping challenge.
I always think this with like food challenges, where it's always just about how much you can scoff down. What about the art of eating?
Yes.
Like what's the sauce coverage? What's the order that you're eating in on your plate? I mean, I'm sure like many people, you always do veggies first, then all the good stuff's left. Then you can enjoy your time with like the meat. the potatoes, the gravy.
Yeah.
I think that should all be part of a like a food challenge or an eating challenge.
That's right. I like that idea of a sort of artistic eating challenge where judges sit there and be like, well, you chose the wrong item first. You have not dipped that well.
Exactly.
What's wrong with your cutting? That was a terrible. You ate the
Absolutely.
potato and it was still too hot, and we could all see it. Like you could really tear someone apart.
I think that's the next great reality show.
Yes, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
What would that show be called, Tiernan?
That's a very good. It'd be called like the Big Scoff Off or something like that, wouldn't it? It'd be called like
Yeah.
Chow Downtown, something like that. Chow
Chow down.
Chow Down Chow Down. I'm trying to think.
That sounds like a Guy Fieri show.
It does, yes, it does. I'm trying to think. What's another word for like eat it? Just eat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I actually don't know.
Just beat the eat or eat the. Beat.
Yeah, yeah. Eat the. How about like eat it right or something like that. Like,
yeah, I like that. That's
or,
very positive. I like that.
Yeah. Or like it'll be really like posh. It'd be fancy. Be like the food method or something like that.
Yes.
Or
I like
something
that.
really like mastermindy.
Yes.
It'll be called like yeah, the consumption principle or something like that, and then it will be a bunch of different consumption principles. Step one, always dip at least 50%. That kind of thing. I can pitch this show. If only the TV industry was around.
I think you should do it, because I think this is the sort of thing that will transcend any industry crises, because people will be like, do you know what? I need to see how everyone is judged on their eating habits.
I think so. I think this is a viral hit in the making.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there for you, man. I will back this. I don't know to who.
Thank you.
I think I might just stand behind you like a hype man and just go, yeah, this.
Look, as long as you're wearing my custom made pasta suits, you can stand wherever you want.
Of course, fantastic. Well, I mean, look at this. This is so exciting. We've already come up with a new idea for a TV show that I'm pretty sure every single one of the listeners would watch in a heartbeat. And we haven't even got to the main question yet, which Runi, I hope you're excited about.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is big. This question's big. It's come from one owlet, which I assume it just is one tiny owlet. I think it's just baby owl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, good for the owlet.
Yeah. It's nice. Probably has a lot of questions. There's baby owl.
Yeah, of course. Baby owls are very curious. They're very curious birds, I've heard.
Yeah, like, why does my head spin round? Why do I always have to eat mice? Which is better than rice.
Yeah, at what point do I go from an owlet to an owl?
Yeah, there's lots of big questions. But this one, I mean, this is perhaps, I suppose, why shouldn't they ask this? But it's maybe not the question I thought an owlet would ask. But of course, they're curious creatures. Okay. But this one owlet has asked, why can't oranges sing?
Why can't oranges sing? Well, you'd be surprised how often I get asked this question.
Right.
Yeah, it comes up constantly. Well, the funny thing is, this one's actually a bit of a trick question, because it's not that oranges can't sing. It's that oranges aren't allowed to sing.
Oh.
So, I did my research on this. It turns out there was a famous king in English history, an English king. I think his name was William III.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Or William of Orange, as he was known.
Right.
And he actually created a law back then. It's one of those, how there's sometimes you see like really funny, weird old laws that are still on the book somehow. Yes. Like you can't put a hat on a swan. That's illegal. That kind of thing. I actually found that out the hard way.
It's a real shame. The hats really suit swans.
I bought a fez for a swan, and it cost me 2 months in jail.
Wow.
But anyway, I digress. I found out there was a law on the books the whole time. It says that oranges aren't allowed to sing. Apples are fine. Apples are allowed to sing. They can sing as much as they want. They just choose not to.
Yes.
Because they're quite grumpy. But oranges, they want to sing. In fact, I know an orange, and it told me in confidence that sometimes it sings to itself.
Wow.
And obviously, I would never reveal the name of that orange to anyone. I don't want them to get into any legal trouble. but it's something I think that we as society should look at because why shouldn't oranges sing?
Yeah,
I mean I've known plenty of singers who are orange.
that's
You
true.
know, plenty of. I mean, I would argue most of the British music industry in the early 2000s was filled with orange people.
Yes, yes,
But
very orange. Yes, absolutely.
but but for some reason, oranges aren't allowed the same opportunities. It's actually what I'm doing next as my next campaign
Mm.
is alongside my sort of pasta clothing business. I'm starting an orange advocacy
Oh wow,
for oranges in entertainment, or Oi.
lovely. That's a beautiful name. Yeah.
And the purpose of Oi is to make sure that we can get oranges the opportunities they deserve that they've been denied for centuries, really,
Mm.
in both not just singing but in acting, comedy, drama, painting, art,
Mm.
everything. We had one success a while ago when the annoying orange blew up
Oh
on the
yes,
internet,
yes, I remember
and
that.
he
Yeah.
was he's a lovely guy as well. He's a big
Right, so
advocate
not
for it.
annoying.
He always comes. Yeah, he comes to the events. He's a really lovely
Oh
guy,
good.
and we're hoping through him and through hopefully other oranges that make it into the mainstream. We were really very upset when that lettuce head got ahead of us
Oh
against
yes. About
against Liz Truss.
yeah, yeah.
We really campaigned hard to get an orange there,
It's a real shame.
but
Mm.
yeah, she didn't last long enough for us to sub in. So
Such
what
a
can we
shame.
do?
Such a shame.
But I hope that answers the question. I think if you see an orange, and sometimes what you can do is you can sing to it, and it's just to let the orange know, hey, listen, orange, I hear you. I know you feel like you can't sing right now, so I'll sing for us,
Mm.
and that hopefully one day, society will evolve so that everyone can stand in the sun listening to oranges singing, wearing suits made of pasta.
That's beautiful. I hope that happens. I mean, I do have to ask because obviously it's a rule, it's a law here. Are there any countries in the world where oranges can sing?
Oh, most of them.
Most of them, just not the UK.
Yeah, no, just not the
Right.
UK and
Okay.
Azerbaijan. Yeah, Azerbaijan and the UK are the two
Right.
that really ban it.
Such a shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is such a shame as well because
Yeah.
those two countries almost never agree on anything.
No, it's really weird. And I, for one, I mean, I find supermarkets can be quite boring. And I just think if there was a beautiful choral kind of resonance coming from the fruit section with the oranges all lined up, obviously, as
Exactly.
people take oranges, it would kind of ruin, you might lose some of the
It would
harmony.
go down a bit in volume, yeah.
Yes.
But maybe that's like a good indicator as well. So like you walk into the store and you go, "How loud is this singing?" Oh, great, there's plenty of fruit and veg
Mm,
left.
mm.
Oh, it's actually quite low. I think most of the oranges are gone.
Yes. Yes. That's a
You know?
very, yeah, that's a very good. It's a very good point, actually. And do they sing only when? This is maybe a bit too grisly to ask. Actually, I've got to be careful on this family-friendly podcast. Do oranges only sing when they are a whole orange, or would you find piece segments of orange singing, or orange
Uh,
juice singing?
yeah. So normally what happens is, when you cut an orange in half, each half just sings at a lower volume.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
So it's sort of it's kind of like a lobster that way, and technically it's immortal.
Yes, yes,
There are ways to unimmortalize it, but it is technically immortal. So you could
yes.
cut it up, and if you make it into juice, it just hums.
Oh, that's lovely.
It just hums the same song it was singing. It just goes, and that's why they often say, I'm sure you've heard the very, very common catchphrase like, "Oh, I could really love a glass of humming orange juice."
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's where that comes from. Funnily
That's where
enough,
it comes from.
yeah, a lot of people don't
Wow.
know that.
Wow, wow! I had no idea about that. I just didn't realize that oranges were like lobsters, or indeed like worms. If a bit of a worm is cut
Mm,
off, it just sort of carries on, doesn't it? And it's
it
nice to
does
know oranges are
exactly.
very just like worms.
I've often said that about oranges and worms and lobsters,
Mm, mm.
that the three are quite alike. In fact, for me, I think there's like, if you think about it, oranges hang in the air, and worms are in land, and lobsters in the water. Like the three of them are land, air, and sea. And like,
Wow.
I think three of the most important, organisms on planet Earth.
Yes, I never thought about that, and I suppose that's why it's rarely allowed that the three are together because it would be just too almighty a force. Like you never see an
No, and if you
orange
think
next to a
about it,
worm and a lobster.
and what color is a lobster usually?
Wow, that's right. Sort of.
And what color is a worm sometimes?
So yes, yes, that's interesting. That's really wow.
Need I say more?
Well, no. I mean, I feel like there's a. I mean, I hope the listeners here have had their minds, but they've heard a lot about Big Rice, which they may have not known about before. But now we know about what would be the word, the triumvirate,
the
triorangvirate, the powerful triorangvirate, and I hope, we just for safety reasons, I should say to listeners, don't go putting oranges next to worms and lobsters unless you are prepared to deal with the powerful wrath that you will inflict on the world, and I think you've got to be a bit
exactly
careful,
and I think that's like do it with a parent around at the very least,
absolutely. Have a grown up nearby so you can watch the effect on them first.
Exactly.
I think that's very sensible. Well, really, listen, I hope that one owlet is happy with that answer, because I'm very happy with it. I think that's why I got you on the show.
I think we've done good work here today.
Yes.
I think we've educated, we've enlightened the world. Hopefully my business booms off this. So really, it's just win-win-win all around, really.
Yes, I hope so. Well, listeners, check out Rigatoni Runi's incredible pasta suits. I think they'll all be asking for one in the playground, won't they? That's how it works.
Oh, I mean, if they don't, then I have to probably find another podcast to go on, I think.
Yes.
But I hope they will.
Well, next step, school uniform made of pasta. I think that's the key place to go.
Look, we're in conversations. Excellent. Right now. Fingers crossed.
I thought so.
There are some very corrupt school officials that I'm really hoping for.
Very good luck with that. And listen, obviously, it feels like a silly question when I know you're so busy with the pasta business, and indeed noodles, the new noodles business. But the next 36 to 37 years, what you up to?
So I'm definitely going to a farmer's market on a Tuesday in that period at some point, just because my partner's already blocked that out.
Sure. That's great.
So I'm doing the farmer's market, and I think I'm really just gonna try and give this orange singing thing a go.
Good.
I'm just gonna try and really help them through. Look, worst case scenario, I get some lovely humming juice, right?
Yes. So, no, I mean, it's the best. I think it's the best case scenario around. I do hope something. I've got several farmers markets, and none of them will sell me a farmer. And I always think, well, this is pointless to me, but I hope you have. No. Same with ant farms. Can never buy an ant there, but I hope that you have better success than I do in these areas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm hoping they'll at the very least be willing to trade me a farmer for like 2 or 3 pasta suits, maybe. Sure. Maybe one pasta suit, maybe one pasta t-shirt short combo, and maybe a pasta like tracksuit. I've got some tracksuits coming out, which would be quite nice.
Lovely.
But yeah. That's what I'm doing. Thank you very much, Tiernan.
Listen, thanks, Runi, and take care, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Huge thanks to Runi Talwar for taking time away from his important pasta clothes business in order to answer the question from one owlet. One owlet, whichever one owlet you are, I do hope you like the answer to your question, but if not, why not tell any complaints you have to an orange, and then it won't be able to sing them at me, so I'll never have to hear them. If you have a question that you need to have answered, or you want to send in anything else at all, like an email with competition written in it so you can win a book, then please get your nearest pea-brain tutor, grown-up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And don't forget to also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows too. I've had exactly 40 dinners, and I'll be honest, listeners, I feel very full, very, very full, and quite sick. But hey, it also means I made 40 more dinners, and those are my seconds. So now I've got 40 seconds. And Emily Executive, here I come, but very slowly because I'm so full of food. I'm so full. Now, where do I find this gates web? Well, there's a gate. And what's that on it? Oh no! What is this? What am I stuck in? I wish I could escape, but I'm so full of food, I'm not sure I have the energy. Help! Help! Oh, hang on, is this a spider web? And there's a very, very large spider in a business suit. Are you Emily Executive?
Uh-huh. And once again, my plan has worked. I've been wanting to eat a Linda for so long.
Well, I'm not Linda. She's not here at the moment.
Oh, really? When will she be back?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
So, what are you then?
I'm a Tiernan.
The worst. I'm not eating something as horrible as a Tiernan. I better go and email Linda somewhere else then.
Oh, right, well that was odd. And still no Linda. On the plus side, I now have 40 more dinners to eat. Hooray! Oh, hey, actually, I don't feel too great. I need to go right now. Bye! You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.